Studying abroad is not just about academia, jobs, and careers, but much more, like being independent, personality development, making friends globally, learning about different cultures, traveling, and many more enriching, unforgettable experiences. Hook on to our episodes of Student Spotlight and get fruitful insights about our students who share their beautiful journeys with you. So today we are having an interesting conversation with Vinayak, who is doing his Masters in Artificial Intelligence from the iconic Imperial College London on a fully funded Chevening Scholarship. After completing his undergraduate from VIT Vellore and working for a few years, he planned to do his Masters. Let's talk to him and find out how he cracked into Imperial and Chevening both together.
So I did my major part of the schooling in Dehradun, multiple schools, but majorly in the Dehradun. After that, I did my 12th in Panipat because my father was in transferable jobs, so I'd been in multiple cities. After that, I went to VIT Vellore did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, 3.5 years. Did a semester abroad in NTU Singapore. After that, I worked in multiple companies for like 3 to 4 years. Majorly, I worked in IIT Bombay as a research assistant for around 2 years. And then I started applying like a couple of years back as well for my master's, and now I'm doing my master's at Imperial. But I would say this is after a bit of a hit and trial getting in here.
Okay, nice. So you did your mechanical and then you worked for how many years?
4 years.
4 years.
3 to
Okay.
4 years.
So what were you working in apart from the IIT?
Yes. So initially I started working as a production engineer at Bajaj Auto. And that was a campus placement.
Okay.
And it was good, but not really my interest. So then I moved on to this role at IIT Bombay because I felt like research was my thing and it was a more open environment. You can experiment a lot. And I think so that helps because what happens in initial phases if you join a company and you get a very defined role, it can be advantageous, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't let you explore multiple skills. So RA role in IIT Bombay kind of gave me that advantage that I can try multiple things at the same time. And that's what helped me explore. And then I was like, okay, let's continue and do my master's and then probably enter in the right area where I'll be more suited.
Okay, nice. Tell me about your scores, if you still remember, 10, 12, undergrad.
Yeah, 10th, it was a 10 CGPA. It's easy in CBSE, they kind of give 10 CGPAs now to everyone.
Right.
For 12th, it was around 89%.
Okay.
In bachelor's and VIT, I think so it was around 9.46 CGPA.
Nice.
At Imperial, they have not yet given anything. And let's see what it comes.
Right. So were you always thinking of artificial intelligence, or was it later when it picked up? I think last 4-5 years it has been not a hype, but it's an actual reality that we see happening today.
I would be very honest. I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering. If I was thinking about AI, it would be counterintuitive to do mechanical engineering, right? So at that point of time, I took mechanical engineering because I liked physics and I liked maths, and I had interest in coding as well, but I kind of thought, okay, I'll do this. But eventually I kind of realized when I was working that I have more interest and capability with coding, programming as well. So I was like, and AI was the thing to go. I saw okay, when I was working on the medical devices, there were algorithms that needed. And there were some things which I saw, okay, if something new can be done to enhance something, this is where you should be. And I was like, okay, let's upskill yourself. And that's how I decided.
Okay. So you had 4 years when you were working. Then did you wish or did you try to come abroad to study? Or
yes, I would say that. Masters was always on my mind. I would say. There is always the element of where you are doing a bachelor's, and that kind of influences a decision. In VIT, most people are going for a good masters because they kind of realize it augments your skill and enhances your overall. So it was there in my mind, but financially, it never made sense for me. Mm-hmm. Honestly, to go immediately. And also I thought having work experience for a while is better. So, I had thought maybe I'll work for 2 years and then do my master's, but then COVID happened. And then I wanted the things to stabilize. I didn't want to do online degree because honestly speaking, there is not much advantage of doing online degree.
Right.
You can do a course on Coursera or something. So things got stabilized. I saw other things, paid off my debt for my undergrad. And then when things got stabilized, I was like, okay, let's do it.
Nice. So how is your experience at Imperial? I'm sure it's one of the best universities to be in.
Yeah, I mean, Imperial, I think so. It's one of the things which is very common at Imperial is, I mean, I'm from a STEM school. I'm doing it at DOC. I mean, if you go and check a Reddit or Quora, there is always this thing that it's a very nerdy place and it's very extensively difficult. And I would say, yes, definitely. It's like, definitely last 6 months have been one of the toughest.
Okay.
I mean, it's really challenging. I mean, they kind of download a lot of information into you and people are really smart. So, I mean, there are really no, I would say they don't pull any punches while they're giving you anything because they kind of know that you're good, you can do it. And then they expect you to do it in unrealistic timelines. So it's tough, but at the same time, I think so you kind of learn a lot because you are challenged. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're in a college like Imperial, everyone here is challenged, even if like the smartest person on the block will be challenged here.
Right.
So academically, I mean, I think so it offers you a lot of advantage in that aspect because you grow up heavily, kind of learn, not just from the degree, but also from peers, I would say, because everyone here is super smart. And I mean, first of all, it kind of humbles you. I mean, if someone has that ego about themselves that, okay, that we are the smartest one, but then you realize, no, that's not the case anymore.
Right.
And then you kind of collaborate with them. And, it's a very nice, at least that's what I would say for the academic part. Apart from that, Imperial, one of the best things about Imperial is that it's positioned very nicely. So it's in London, it's in central London, South Kent. So, I mean, if there is any opportunity you want to explore while you're in uni, you're at the very right spot because you can do an internship, like I'll be doing one after a month, and you can get all kinds of opportunities. You can go for conferences, you can meet the right people. So that's one aspect of it. And on top of it, I think so Imperial also luckily has a good sports center and clubs and everything. So you can explore a lot of hobbies. I mean, they have 350 clubs and I did explore like 5 of them. So
wow, okay.
I did things which I would have been very difficult otherwise. Really rare things. So I would say that it's pretty good.
And I mean, the campus is beautiful. The whole street, you're in between the beautiful museums, right? And quite touristy as well. I'm sure that is also quite enhancing.
It is enhancing if you get time to look at it.
So how's your routine like, right? Because I'm sure masters in UK, and especially when you come to a university like Imperial or any top unis, although it's 1 year, it's more compact, 6-8 months, and you get done. And there's a lot to absorb. So how is your routine? How do you manage your time?
I mean, time here is really valuable. I mean, back in India, I mean, I think so it's a very recurring theme with everyone. Everyone feels like you have a lot of time, but after you come here, you kind of start valuing every minute. So I would say I start my day generally early. That's what my thing was. Maybe wake up at 6 or 7 around that time. Generally go for a gym for 1 hour or something. Start my day at 8 or 9. Then do the assessments, courseworks and projects. This is always running. Then there are always lectures spread out in the timetable, meetings and all that. So you do that and then you stay, I think so I generally stayed up until 11 or 12 in the night because that's when they close. But the library is 24/7. So, I mean, you can stay and keep working. So I would say maybe from around 8 to 12.
Okay.
Around the clock. Yeah. So it takes that kind of effort, I would say.
Right. How is the course like? What are the core modules you're learning or what is your focus more on?
So, I mean, my course is more like a conversion degree. So they kind of, we have students from all backgrounds, even though they have not coded anything.
Okay.
So there are basic courses like Python, basic Python, and goes up until like deep graph learning. So it's a wide spectrum. There is obviously some core modules like machine learning, deep learning, symbolic AI, stuff like that. But then you can always choose some modules which kind of go with you. So I also selected one module which was from business school.
Okay.
So it was like AI Ventures. They kind of tell you how to like build a startup around AI. And there was this Dragon's Den, a simulation kind of thing. So it gave you all kinds of flavors. So there were like coding courses. There was also so I essentially, even though I'm from STEM school, I also got a taste of the business school course and collaborated with some MBAs and as well. So, I mean, it's pretty all-rounded. Then there is group project, which is, for me, it's like external project with a company, which is a startup. So that project kind of gives me some idea. And then you can do your thesis as well as your individual research. So I'm doing like an internship in lieu of like a research. So I mean, you can in fact make some money or maybe get a job from internship if that's what you're looking for. But I'm more looking for the industrial experience.
I get it. Right. You mentioned about it being a conversion course. Do you also have students from a non-technical background, like management students doing the course?
Yes, there are some. Conversion degrees have different like requirements. So from AI conversion degree that I am on, they'd want some form of like mathematical background. So that was like the core requirement. But other like computing conversion degree, they're open to everyone. So for me, I mean, management students are there, but then they have something which is mathematical, at least some component of it. Otherwise, the degree becomes super challenging.
I get it. Right. So now tell me about the scholarships. How did you get it? What scholarships did you apply for? Students really want to, usually understand how that works, and there is limited information available. So it'll be great to have a first-hand information.
I mean, getting into college is the easy bit, I would say. I mean, everyone gets into some uni. I mean, whatever best they can, but scholarship is challenging. It's highly competitive. So, I mean, you need to know everything. So there are a couple of famous ones. So, I mean, first of all, you need to do your own research. And I mean, ChatGPT helps, honestly. At this point of time, I would say it's like Google on steroids. So, I mean, you don't really need to, like, if you ask the right question, it can basically spit out all the scholarships that are there. Actually helped me because I figured out one or two which I didn't know through ChatGPT.
Okay.
So that helped me search.
Right.
But then there are other portals where you can search. So, I mean, I can list on the big ones.
Right.
I mean, people can look it up. Yeah. So I'm on Chevening Scholarship. So mine is like a partner scholarship.
Okay.
With Chevening and Adani.
Okay.
So that's there. Then Commonwealth Scholarship is there. Pretty of the same flavor. So they are both funded by UK government, British Council. You have a return clause. You have to return after you're done with the degree. Then there is In-Lakh scholarships, In-Lakh Shivdasini, which is, most people are not familiar with this one because it generally funds arts and humanities degrees and doesn't fund business or STEM courses. But for Imperial, just for Imperial, they have this exception that you can apply. So it's like if you like do that very minute search, you will find out that there is a full scholarship and it's like super cool.
Okay.
And one of my friends got it. Yeah. So there is In-Lakh Shivdasini. Then there is some loan scholarships like KC Mahindra and Narottam Sekshari. I mean, they're not really like help you fully fund, but I mean, if you're struggling with some costs, then it can help you. And then there is ETS scholarship that I'm on. So I have two scholarships, like Chevening as well as TOEFL scholarship.
Okay.
So ETS has this program where they are kind of funding 10 students who are coming to UK. So you have to give TOEFL, get a good score, and then you get a TOEFL scholarship.
Okay.
And that's good. I mean, you can get direct 2.5 lakhs in Indian rupees.
Okay.
So that it helps. I mean, whatever you get.
Exactly, right.
So for me, it's like buying maybe good groceries. I can eat whatever I want. It's a flex.
Absolutely right. So the ETS one, so you need to score very good TOEFL.
I wouldn't say very good TOEFL. I mean, I've seen people who have got like 80s and 90s in TOEFL and still got it. It's like the right positioning. I mean, obviously, if you have a good TOEFL score, it helps. But if you have written,
what else is needed? Right?
The essays, I mean, there are five or six essays you have to write.
Okay.
If you write really good essays, and
no ChatGPT there.
No, obviously not. I mean, ChatGPT has its advantage of searching.
Right.
You can't be writing essays with ChatGPT. I mean, what's the point then?
Right.
So, yeah, definitely.
So the essays you mentioned.
Essays, and also I think so. One thing that can help with these scholarships is that people generally don't really like I think it's a very recurring mistake that everyone makes is they don't see what the other person wants. So the scholarships generally have an agenda.
Okay.
So I mean, there is no free lunches, honestly.
Right.
So if people can really figure out what the host wants, what's the reason they're giving a scholarship, and then they know, okay, what we are good at. So you should know what the other person wants. You should know what you are good at, and then if you can tailor yourself out exactly to that need, and I mean, you can get anything. It's not very tough in that aspect.
Nice. So with Chevening, how did it work? Can you take us through when are the deadlines and when did you start applying and what are the criteria for Chevening?
Yeah, I mean, Chevening is notorious. Chevening and Commonwealth. And Commonwealth is far more notorious than Chevening.
Okay.
So Chevening has this problem that it opens very early. The applications open, I think, in September. Mm-hmm. And they close in October.
Okay.
So there is like 2-month window.
Okay.
And the problem is no one is really applying at that time. I mean, people kind of apply. As far as I have seen, people are applying in January or December or November. Right. So what happens is the moment they come to know about Chevening, the deadline is already gone. Yeah. So, and the irony is you have to apply for Chevening first, and you have to select 3 colleges which you will apply for, and you don't have an offer yet.
Okay.
So it's like you have to hit in the dark.
Right.
So you will choose 3 UK universities, 3 degrees, and you'll hope that you get into one of them. You'll fill the Chevening form, then you apply to the universities because it's around the same time the applications open. And then there's an interview in April. They kind of let you know about whether the interview you're selected for interview in February. So I started in September.
Okay.
Not September, I would say end of September. I filled my Chevening as well as the Imperial at the same time. So Imperial for my course opened the applications in October. So I've applied and I've completed my Chevening essays at the same time.
Okay.
And then I waited.
Right.
Luckily for Imperial, I got offer within a month.
Right.
So at least I was secure. Okay, that I have an offer, and then I have to clear the Chevening thing. And if I get bored of it, it will be working out. But I did miss this deadline a year before, so I could have been here last year, but I didn't know about the deadline. So then I realized, okay, I have to do my prior search, and then I kind of noted all the deadlines, everything into my notes and Excel sheet and read it out.
Right, which is nice, right? And what other challenges in Chevening? Again, you got to write essays.
Yep, a lot of it. Like 6-7 essays, big essays.
Wow. Okay. Nice. And then once you get selected, you get a call in February for an interview in April.
Right.
So so February churning also. So out of what is the acceptance rate? You know, right?
2%.
2% of people who apply for scholarships.
So I can give you an idea. Like I know exactly the numbers. So 2,500 people from India applied. Globally, maybe 70,000. Let's just focus on India probably. That's what matters. So this year, I think so 2,500 to 3,000 applied. 44 got it.
Okay.
But then there is a lot of like tiering in it. So in 44, there is like partner scholarship with corporates. Like mine is with Adani. There are TVS scholarships. There is someone. So, and then there are like reserved in the like multiple courses. And so 5 scholarships were reserved for AI.
Okay.
So people need to know, okay, what are the split up in that 44 or 50, whatever is there.
Right.
And then they need to know, okay, what probably they have to think about. So.
Okay. And you got to specifically apply for that scholarship within Chevening as well?
Yes. So because I got a course in AI and I was going for AI. So I got my application got siphoned for that partner scholarship because they were the ones who were funding for AI. In the 5, I think so 3 were reserved, because they want to promote women in STEM and everything. So there is 3 out of them. So then the percentages are not really. It's very accurate, you have to see things out.
There's a lot of probability you need to count on, right? So with Chevening, do you get your full tuition fees?
Full tuition fee. So
do you get any support on accommodation?
Yes, everything. So I would say my flights are booked, front and end. Visa is free. Insurance is free. For accommodation and food, they give me around £1,655 per month.
Okay, nice.
So I mean, that is also sorted, and fees. I mean, they have paid in full.
They've paid in full. Very nice. The only clause you have later is you got to be in India for 2 years.
Yeah, at least 2 years.
At least 2 years, but work anywhere.
Yeah, I can do anything. So I don't have to I can do whatever I want to, but I have to stay in India. Okay. It's not like you can be in some other country. Some people confuse it maybe we
not
can.
in UK, but
you have to be in India. So where you're from,
right? And India is booming AI wise.
Exactly. I mean, family is there. You have all the advantages there.
Right. Okay. Great. Any future plans?
I mean, there is always one thing that I'm all thinking is probably work for a while, maybe for a year or 2, sharpen my skills in AI. Because even though you learn theoretical as well as some projects in degree, you can't compare it with the industrial experience. I would say probably work for a year or 2 or something like that. Yeah. Become really good at it and then maybe start my own thing.
Okay, nice. Yeah, good to know. Any advices you would want to give our students who are applying for either AI or scholarships or coming to a university like Imperial? Anything that?
One of the things I think so generally is not said. I mean, anyone who is thinking of applying to going for masters or scholarships or anything, generally people have worked really hard. I mean, that's a very common thing. I mean, if you have not worked hard, if you don't have anything to show up, then you will not get in to begin with. But if you have something, and most people have, they have worked hard in industry, they have good projects and everything. One of the major things that I feel people kind of fail sometimes is they are not able to sell it. I have seen people who have worked really hard, have far more credentials and not getting what they deserve because they don't really sell it in an interview or in essays, and they can't really convince. So one of the things I would say is if you can write really good and if you can convince people that you are the product, I mean, if that you can do, I mean, you will get scholarships, you will get everything. I mean, first of all, you have to have something to show, and then you have belief, and then you sell it. So that's what works.
That's an amazing piece of advice, right? And I again second that opinion. Anything you would want to change if you were to go back in time, 2 years, 3 years?
Well, what kind of thing are we talking about?
I mean, your decision of coming to UK to study Imperial, or even work-wise, maybe you thought you shouldn't have taken a 4-year break and come a bit earlier.
I would say coming earlier makes more sense. I would say definitely. I mean, for me, it was a COVID thing. I mean, I was stalling to so that things are stabilized. I had financial commitments. My health was also very bad during the COVID time. So I had to see a lot of things. But 4 years, I would say, is a bit much because it kind of, it's difficult. I mean, you have an advantage as such because you are older guy in the course. So it's you make friends easy. You could learn a lot far more. But then I would say you have lesser runway to get things done.
And to experiment as well?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So I would say maybe 2-3 years is ideal. 4 years is a bit much, I would say, for masters.
I get
At least for a technical masters. Maybe for an MBA or something, it is good.
It is good. Okay, nice. And your decision to, come to Imperial, would you want to change that, or that's the best thing that is?
It is best, I would say. I mean, and not because just it's like the top uni or the curriculum is really good or it gives me a tag or something like that. Nothing like that. I would say it has helped me grow in a very holistic way. I mean, people are really good here. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing I've got here is I've got really good friends and I've learned from them. I mean, they bring a plethora of experience. And, I mean, I've grown. I would definitely say in the last 6 months, I've grown as a person. So, I'm not trading this off for sure.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. In one word, how would you define your journey at Imperial, or one sentence?
Going down the rabbit hole.
Okay, that's nice, interesting.
Yeah. And exploring uncharted territories. I would say it's tough. Definitely it's tough, but it's rewarding.
Wow. Challenging but rewarding, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us for this episode of TSS. If you enjoyed what you heard, be sure of sharing it with other students and leave us a comment. Your feedback helps us continue to provide valuable content to students everywhere. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world around you. Thank you.